What's going on, guys? Today is a story about anxiety and the World Trade Center. A couple of weeks ago, myself and my wife were having a conversation about Mel Robbins, the author and podcaster. And in the midst of our conversation, my wife said she likes her, but she doesn't think that she accounts for the fact that people have, crippling anxiety that doesn't, allow them to do certain things. And my response to my wife was, do you make room for the fact that maybe she does know that people have anxiety and it may be crippling, but the reality of the situation is the world moves on and doesn't really care that that person has anxiety. And it brought me to a story about the World Trade Center. I used to actually work 2 blocks away from the Trade Center, and I was actually on my way into work when when the planes hit. And I actually have a very good friend of mine who was actually in Tower One. And when the plane hit, what happened is if you know anything about the Trade Center, what it used to be is there was maybe 15 feet that was over your head when you walked out of the building. So they came out of the building and they were just standing there, and all of the people were telling them, don't move. And it got to a point where after a minute or so, my friend just said he can see everything that's happening, and, the plane falling in front of them, and, debris and things of that nature. And he just said to himself, fuck it. And he just ran for it. But he was telling me that he was having nightmares because the people that he was standing there with, they had such anxiety that they could not move. And they were so scared to even take a step that they figured, I'll just stay here and it'll just kind of be over. And the reason that I bring that up is the world, whether you decide to do it or not, if you have anxiety, is going to move on with or without you. So while we don't take anxiety lightly, you have to get therapy. You have to learn different coping mechanisms to allow you to be able to deal with your anxiety, because ultimately, whether you have anxiety or not, the rest of the world is moving on with or without you. That's just a cold, hard fact. I always want to try to give it to you guys real. I'm always going to try to give it to you guys raw and authentic. I would hope that you guys can support by pushing that like button. If there's anything that you guys would like to hear more about, I would love to hear it in the comments section. If you can save this video, repost, share, whatever you can do to get this message out on anxiety, I truly appreciate it. As always, I love you guys, and stay positive.